Oh yeah. Hello everyone, my name is Lucky7K, and today I'm gonna do an account overview. That is right, it has been 1 year since the creation of my account here on the global server. During this time, it was last season actually, I was able to hit Warlord in RTA, which was amazing. Currently, right now, I'm actually in Champ, well, I'm Champ 5, but I was in Champ 1. I finally realized that Arena gives promotional rewards, and I haven't done this for over a year. So Sunday night, I'll go back to 25 or 5250 points, and then when reset happens, I'll be here, get 500 side stones, and then hopefully when reset happens, people aren't attacking. Pick up this 2.7k. Oh yeah, we are on a roll. After that, I'll just do Arena whenever I feel like it. But that's not the point. Sorry, I'm just going ahead and starting my eulogy for a saint. I'm too lazy to ungear, and these characters are clearly faster than my Mildred. But you know what? Who cares? Anyways, yes, I was able to hit to Warlord in RTA last season. However, I ended in Champion. Just had a lot of stuff going on, but you know, it is what it is. It just brings back so many memories of last year, my freshman year in college. I'm like, you know what? Let's do something. I deleted the game in the past. I was like, you know what? Let's try it again. Started during Epic Pass, had a time of my life, and I was like, you know what? Let's continue it on. So, without further ado, let's get right in, shall we? Oh yeah, you already know. New Moon Luna. Fastest unit on my account by far. She has Tagahel's Ancient Book for the immediate soul burn if need be. Only plus 30 book on my account. Immunity set is mandatory because she has Skilled Nullifier given to her at the start of battle. So if they try to dispel the buff, they will dispel this, or it will just nullify this. This goes down to 0. Immunity's still there. All wells end well. But yeah, being able to seal your opponents so their passives can't do anything is mega OP in Arena, in Guild Wars, and RTA. People in RTA build her a lot slower, around 240 speed, but with a lot more HP, like 25k. I can't do that, unfortunately, but running fast is cool because I do have it Zio, and I tend to do Guild Wars, and I want to do more Guild Wars, so having her fast, pretty good. Lidica is my second fastest unit, and that is because if I want to do Arena, she's kind of good for that. If the Aram defense is not there, RTA, she's a 4 or 5 pick now, unless you ban Aram, because Aram in 3 just kills her, and then you just we're like, what are you doing? But yeah, her this RGB character has the following in her kit: resource reduction, AoE, AoE buff duration by 1 turn decrease, AoE bind and restrict for 2 turns, gives herself basically a full combat readiness push if she hits 4 enemies, and can ignore ER for 20 souls. Pretty crazy. And then wait, her next turn she's going to hit someone, decrease defense, which ignores ER if the character is binded, decreases their combat readiness by 100, and can skill null to everyone. Pretty crazy. RTA and Guild Wars and Arena, pretty good. So I have my fast gear on here. I would like to predicate this by saying, even though my account is a year old, I am not free to play. I bought the 17 and 15 speed packs from the Witch of the Teneria event, and I get Burning Leaves whenever there's a major event going on to farm. But yeah. Next is Renak. Renak I can build a 313 Renak, 14, sorry, Renak. But the reason why she's very slow is I only use her in RTA. If I use her in regular arena, I'll have a pusher right behind her and she can do her thing. You know, it is what it is. She doesn't need to be that fast. RTA, if the Zeo's open, you're just dead. But I ban her second pick. If I'm first pick, I'm kind of forced to take her because I don't have Basarunka. So I have to ban Basarunka. And if I'm going first, I kind of want to control the pace of the match. So I got to ban Harseti. I can ban Harseti and Luna and deal with Basarunka. But then I'm in a situation where I will have to pick Renak. They pick Basarunka and like Yuffie, for example, or FCC. Then, you know, it is what it is, and I can control the pace that way. But I don't like when my opponent picks this because I don't have FCC. It kind of is a forced ban, and then you have to go for the rest of the fight like that. But, you know, she's cool. Ignore ER, decrease combat readiness by 40%. Then Dispel debuffs, and then, you know, her fixed damage, pretty crazy. Next up is Briar Witch Iseria. Just a fast unit. Denying revive is pretty crazy, so Rule Light, you know, RB, characters that like to revive. Nuh-uh. AoE, Dispel, decrease defense, and unable to be buffed with Ignore ER Soulburn. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, some fast gear, some 17s and some 19s, but yeah. Only copy of Renew Will, I just got it, and I'm trying to plus 30 it, but, you know, is what it is. Could do that over time with the little story summons. Next up, we have Sid. Sid was my Green Expo character, but I pulled Fenris, and I need Fenris for Light Expo, or I need Fenris for Water Expo, sorry. And I need Fenris for Banshee. So Sid was like, okay, bye. You're a speed imprint now. But yeah, you know, give some good speed, DPS gear. You got a 100% crit chance, which is pretty crazy. Usually you run 85 or some. But I got a crit chance neck, which is pretty good. Damage is pretty low. But, you know, it's what it is. Here for that memory imprint. Same with Veronica, but Veronica's very good as a opener. Can dispel 2 buffs, decrease defense, and bomb. I have the decrease combat readiness EE. Some people do the second one, which increases her combat readiness. This one has immortality by 30% more. That guarantees the turn. I like to push people back, especially with Ignore ER Soulburn. Grants an extra turn, and then we'll just push up whoever's next by 15%. Stun the enemy who has the bomb. Pretty crazy. Hard counters BBK. But yeah. People generally run her 230 to 250 speed with like 200 effectiveness. I'm running her faster to compensate. I have 100 effect less. My first Guardian Light, by the way. Or second Guardian Light. I think you're on Guardian Light too. Yeah. The reason why I could not have done the arena push sooner is because I didn't have Frida. And now since I have Frida, I can farm the gems in arena. Frida's pretty cool because you get guaranteed Soulburn for the ally next to her. And then, sorry, right here. So even Bellion can't stop her. But then she gets to push herself up and then, you know, dispelled some debuffs, increased CR of everyone, increases attack. Very good chain unit. Very good bridge. And then she also gets a free Soulburn, so after her next turn she can use this, which dispels debuffs and grants a barrier. Or you can increase the CR of the ally with a high CR right now. Bird's Eye View, just because it's just guaranteed souls. Her own artifact needs to be plus 30 for consistency. I'd rather just take the less 5 souls. Oh yeah, do note she does have some ER. And she is same speed as my Zeo. My Zeo S2 makes him 321 speed at the start of the battle. he's gonna get the second max book, but very great speed, high effectiveness. Need to imprint him, but I don't have a lot of MLs, and I'd rather just get the MLs first. It'll do. Zeal's a great opener for playing aggro because you can dispel buffs, push back, and then inflict silence. Kind of RG or random character because you can get 15% of the lot. But if you do what you want to do with soul burns, you can make this work. Next up we have Elagos. My Elagos is built a little different. Matter of fact, he has the stealth EE, it's 2-turn stealth, but he's relatively slow for what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be north for like 270, and then with the same amount of damage I have here on pen. But I built him slower with Misha, so he just does more damage, and then I can just slap him on like Guild Wars or something. I kill one thing, he's just gonna nuke the other thing. Yeah, it's funny. Alright, DJB. DJB is my quote-unquote third opener. If I'm going first, Renox band. For some reason, I don't want to go Zio. I'll pick DJB. I don't have Peyra, but good alternative because he can be run slow, have some great bulk, and a lot of ER. But if you have Soul Constellation, if you use him against non-attack skill users who are openers, he's basically around the same speed. They go first, but then he goes, does his barrier inversion, dispels 2 debuffs, decreases CR by 20%, and then can cleanse all debuffs, grant immunity to 2 turns, and then push up everyone by 30%. Basically a more defensive Peyra, but kind of more offensive if you think about it. You let your opponent have the first turn, and then you just go right after them and then just undo whatever they just did. If they have a barrier, they just inflict more damage. But yeah, Flan used to be my best built character, around 180 speed and then max damage after that. Only 15% crit chance, which is base for her. But now she is my Zio bridge, so she must be speed tuned correctly. 254 speed I think it is when Zio is 321. Full damage after that. Has a little bit of bulk, but not much. Zio bridge. Double attacks are crazy. Flan OP. I'm gonna go on a rant for a second. I am an RTA player. Not a regular arena player. I just do NPC battles. Once I push and get the Skystones, that is. But this is not a healthy RTA character. And S3 basically makes the opponent, it turns the game into 4 1v4s. You press the button, boom. We're playing 4 matches. Guess what? You're getting 2 dispel. You're starting off strong. You're not. You're getting 2 buffs dispelled from you. You're afflicting blocks, so basically you can't get affected by any other things, and you have to cleanse this by yourself. Any other teammates can't do anything for you. But then you get a random debuff. Stun, sleep, or redirected, provoke. So the ability that usually cleanses the debuff is on the S2 or S3. But most of the time that won't proc, because you're forced to use your S1 or you have CC, hard CC. So not only do you turn the game into 4 1v1 or 1v4s, you're just gonna go before your opponent. Huh? Not only that, she increases CR by 50%, so she can do her next ability faster. We're just going to do AoE Rupture, which is 4 3Fs. Afflict Restrict, so you can't get CR gain. And then we're going to give ourselves a Stealth Barrier. And basically, if you hit AoE, you're going to do no damage to focus single target me. On a 3-turn cooldown, by the way. That's not all. S1, when the S3 is on cooldown, does a dual attack with a 33.3% chance to decrease defense, and if they don't have immunity, that character is dead. This is basically a 33.3% chance to stun a character. Not only that, you have a 33.3% chance to slow down the character. And if you slow down the character, you might have a chance to do an extra turn. Not only that, this is Soul Burn for an extra turn. No. I have Umbral Keystones on her, and it's speed tuned to Zeo, all that stuff. And she has immunity. So she has a lot of bulk, good effectiveness, and that speed tune. Buddy, have fun in RTA. Next up is Alaya. I don't really use Alaya, but she's a cleanser. I have the last imprint. I just need to put the book or the bottle in and then level it up. But I rarely use her. She's just built fast with some HP. I just use her if I need a cleanser in 4 or 5 that does a lot of things. I'll just pick Alaya. Acades. Now, this Acades is funny because this is an ER. Well, this Acades is meant to be picked on 3. And then if Zeo tries to do funny haha things, basically a 275 Acades. Basically a 30% chance you lose the game outright. Or, sorry, 70% chance you lose the game outright plus a 15% random chance you lose the game outright. Not only that, she pushes herself up 20% every turn, really high bulk, no passives, and then if she gets a turn, she basically says, you know what, my other opponent, or my other teammate's gonna get a turn, and then you can't hit them. Hard counters Emma Luna because, you know, random buffs, completely random, but, you know, yeah. Argent Waves Huahai Young is a bridge slash anchor slash DPS slash aggro unit. Because when you use a non-attack skill, which many aggro or cleave teams start off with, this is going against the enemy with the highest defense, which is most likely going to be a tank or a defense scaler. If it's the defense scaler, since it penetrates defense, they're just gonna die, but it increases her CR. If she has vigor, she gets her an extra turn. So let's say this was activated by an Aram S2, she just goes right into her S3, or Celilius, same thing. Then she uses her S3, which can be Soul Burn to do more damage. Grants vigor if she didn't have it already, but then increases the ally in the back row's CR by 50%. Yeah. I use her in my blue expo just because Fene can solo it with Brieg, so might as well speed it up. Relatively good gear, her own artifacts, but I need to plus 30 this for consistency or just put her on Wind Rider. I didn't buy another Wind Rider in the bottle. I bought 2 Wind Riders in the Book of Knowledge or whatever shop. Might be regretting not getting a 3rd one, but who knows. So of course she's speed tuned and all that. Next is Spirit Eye Celine, who is an anchor slash DPS slash cleanser slash rant time because I'm going on a rant. Spirit Eye Celine basically says, You want to play the game, you can. You will. You'll have fun playing the game. You might be thinking you're doing something. You're killing my opponents or my teammates. You're doing good. Good job. None of that matters anymore. She can't take more than 50% of or 51% of her max HP in one hit. Cool. Her exclusive equipment, which gives her 12 crit chance, by the way, at max, basically gives her a free soul burn with a 50% increase in damage on that, and doesn't cost any souls, obviously. But then when someone dies, decreases her skill cooldowns by 1 turn and gains 5 souls. Her S3 basically says, everyone's coming right back. And you know what? If you are alive, we're just dispelling all your debuffs. You gain immortality. And then grants possession, which not only increases her attack by 25%, but will counterattack when suffering a critical hit. Hold on a second. Her S1, just a regular S1 until you read this, if she has a buff and it's not triggered by dual attack. Nimble Sword is Cohen. It's going to increase the attack further. It's going to attack the enemy in lifesteal, and it penetrates damage by 50%. But then you can soul burn it for an extra turn. Wait a minute. Hold up. Stack souls. Delete one character. Delete another character. Delete another character. I pick her on 3 when I'm second pick and playing Zio aggro. That's it. I don't have Emma Ludwig, because if I did, I would pick him on 1, or pick him on 3 when I'm going first pick and doing Zio aggro. But this character basically says nuh-uh, because when anyone dies on the team, on the side, we're just resetting our school. We're just resetting our school cooldown. It's only 5 turns. So yeah, speed tuned and then max damage after that. Next up, we have a Polly. Yeah, we have Polly. She is mainly used for her passive, which cuts CR gain for the enemy by 50%. And if they use a non-attack skill, she's going to attack. It's going to decrease buff duration by 1 a turn and then increase her CR. Hopefully, she can activate her S3, which will inflict decreased hit chance and buff. Decrease, can't buff. She has 40% chance to stun on her S1 and can grant an extra turn, so you want to be funny, you can do it like that. I have her built very bulky, some effectiveness, and then 240 speed, so hopefully I can cut a mids when they're doing their thing. And if I can't, then I have a chance to just stun the character outright. That's fun. And if that's not the case, then hopefully I won't die in the next turn, and then I can just put all those debuffs on the DPS. Hopefully I have enough mitigation to survive another turn. Abyssal Crown because stuns are funny, haha. DN, I'm a speed through characters that have gear, but I don't use them. But just in the random case I have to use them, I just here. DN's one of those characters, I never pick her, but she's geared, and she's just thrown on random stuff, and it's like not even Reforged gear or anything. But yeah. Lena, you trying to debuff cleave me? Oh no. If you hit me with an AoE attack, we all gain 20% damage reduction. But hold on. We're going to dispel a debuff from our allies, and then we're going to recover their HP from that attack, and then we're going to increase her CR. But not only that, if she gets the turn, we're going to dispel another debuff, and then grant the whole team invincibility, and increase ER. Doctor's Bag, because she has 2 non-attack skills, used back-to-back, so she can basically dispel 3 debuffs, and then do more healing. Or, yeah, 2 debuffs, sorry. 1 on the S2 because of this, which activates first, and then 1 on the S3. Or just 2 on the S3, none on the S2. Celine, Celine basically says you use non-attack skill. Nuh-uh. S2 does a lot of damage, gains 10 souls, and then I have to attack in the highest attack character. She's probably gonna go next. S3, she can soul burn and just does way more damage and ignores damage sharing. Reactive DPS, but it's pretty good. Need to max out her RD for consistency. But yeah, pretty good speed gear. A little faster than normal just because I do want her to cut. Just geared, random stuff. Is a character. DDR. My second anchor for Cleave on 5. I'm picking this character against like a Miki and stuff like that. Basically, he's both bulky, mid speed, high ER, so he gets basically, or effectiveness, so he basically gets. It's another rant time. Death Dealer Ray. S3 dispels 2 buffs, and then puts everyone to sleep, and then gives them a venom. But then grants an extra turn. So everyone has a venom debuff, but only he applied it. What if we just made the whole team do that? The S2 is basically, you know what? Do what I do. We're all doctors of death now. You're doing what I'm doing. Grants increased effectiveness and basically allows them to inflict venom, but then will detonate the venom and inflict injury because venom, when activated, suffers damage based on max HP and then gives them injury. S1 has more sleep. This has a CR push as well. Yeah. Has immunity. Very bulky, mid-speed, basically 200 effectiveness. Potion Vial just in case I need to dispel a debuff off of him or whatever. I can go Guardianize Crystal, but nah. Varia is only used for her passive. I just gave her a lot of ER. Fighting Spirit, you know, we're just gonna cut that out. Abigail's just geared, played for her passive. Basically just gives the ally in the back row your DPS. They'll survive a lethal hit, and then this gives immortality and then vampirism. They can go heal that back up. She can inflict defense, break, and all that stuff. But I never pick her. Sneal basically says DDR. Nope. you want to play? You want to play DDR? I'm gonna play Sneal, and we're gonna both do nothing because it's a 3v3 now. Whoever kills the other characters, Sneal DDR wins first. High bulk, mid speed, some effect resist. Yay! AOL's geared, but it's random gear, and you can see because there's no book. But just play for the passive. If they're just spamming AOEs like Last Rider Crow or something, I'll just pick her. But yeah. RB, go to farming. Mid speed and then all damage after that. I'm too lazy to ungear my character's boots when I use them for farming. The gear for faster farming. So I can be fast. I can farm faster. But I just don't because I'm too lazy to. But it's okay. Pretty good in PvP if you just have them at like lower than 7,000 HP. They pick Ranak. You don't pick FCC. He dies. You just do full damage after that and then just like kills everyone. So yeah. Aram. I used to have her on a proc set, but I upgraded my 2 tanks proc sets, so she couldn't do what I wanted her to do on proc set. So we're here now, which is we're on counter set, and we're just gonna be here for our steady matches, or whenever I have to pick her, because she's just there for her passives, effects, and stuff like that. But you know, enemy goes first, we get everyone immunity. We go first, everyone on our team gets effectiveness. We suffer AoE, we get vigor and increased speed and 10 souls. Hey, that was a very powerful S3. You want to do it again, but do 20% more damage? And just do it like right now, actually? Here, go ahead. And the S1 has a chance to stun and then heal based off max HP, so that's why she's on counter for me. It was on proc, but once again, didn't have the gear for it. Harseti, she's just crazy OP because of her own arty just like increases CR every 2 turns. So you basically just get an extra turn every 2 turns in Harseti matchups. I mean, once again, she's already OP, but like, what's more to being OP? You can be OP'er. Rule of Light is a character, anti-cleave unit. If you want to be annoying, yeah, you pick her because if she dies, she can revive herself and then just increase the CR by 50%. Basically, you're gonna just recover HP for one ally, completely dispel all debuffs, and then grant them invisibility. If they're dead, you're just getting revived. And then for S3, basically dispels all debuffs, heals ally, and then grants them barrier and damage limit. If they're bulky and has a big barrier, like your rollout is, then you know they're gonna take multiple hits to even chuck down that barrier. Put on Idol's Cheer because people are forced to focus her, then we're just gonna increase the highest attack on your team by 50% every time. Yeah, cool beans. Tori. I pick Tori a lot actually. If I am first pick, Zio's banned, Harseti's open, and I go Renak or I go DJB, and they look like, you know, I don't want to deal with their shenanigans. I don't deal with their debuffs or whatever they're doing. I just go Tori Roz ban protection. So if they go Harseti, I just go Aram, and then they're just like, okay, ban the Aram. But she has immunity built just in case I can't go A-Roz. But my A-Roz has Bastion of Perlusha, so he gets immortality and a big A barrier to him. Or to her, sorry. But yeah. Trip set, a lot of damage. 205 speed, or mid speed, and then a lot of damage after that. Ren Rider because we like stealth. Basically, we can't strip your buffs. If you have one immune set on your whole entire count and you have Tori, the immune set's going on her. Don't matter. Increases all allies' attack and speed, and then if she has Cascade, free Soulburn for a whopping crazy single target attack, and then does fixed damage after that. I'm gonna skip to A-Roz because we're talking about these two together right now. Venture Roz here. Mainly used for his passives and stuff, or especially change, but S2 is broken for PvE and just things in general. Because if you soul burn it, you're basically a DPS every turn. But yeah, the reason why he's so good with Tori is because if Tori falls below 50%, not only does she have a big barrier to start the turn, she grants barrier every turn, but if she falls below 50%, which is a big hit, which she has no barrier, we're getting another barrier. Pretty crazy. Bastion of Perlusha, just in case Aram gets banned, which Aram's going to get banned if Harseti is up at play. And, you know, stuff like that. Lot of HP. Cool beans. Janua is geared, but I rarely use him. Big single target nuker. Big problem is he's fully reliant on penetration, and if the opponent has appeared ill enough, he does no damage. If the opponent has any form of control, he's just gonna be a free pick. So he's kind of hard to slot in, but he has gear. I use him in Guild Wars from time to time if I just want to finish someone off quickly. So yeah, a lot of damage and then like mid speed. Rant time, ladies and gentlemen. It is rant time. S2 increases soul burn consumption of the enemy by 100%. Let's say they're trying to soul burn New Moon Luna, and it costs 20 souls, and they have that only book on the account, or the only book on the team right now is New Moon Luna's, and it gives her 20 souls at the start of the battle. Oh my goodness, she can't soul burn because you need 40 souls. If the opponent needs 10 souls to soul burn, you need 20 souls to soul burn. Pretty crazy. If you don't have Bellion, she's a must-have on your account. Otherwise, in RTA, have fun. Not only that, high HP means high effect resistance for her. And that would never change throughout the whole battle. And when she has no debuffs, passive ER to the whole team. Then she's just a bruiser, increasing damage on her S3 and then a lot of damage on her S1, guaranteed crit. Leafy's limited artifact would be best in slot, but I tried to get Holiday Yuffie and did not get her, unfortunately, so I have to use Proof of Valor. Probably going to switch for a DPS artifact because there are actually, you know what? I'm going to put her on Sigrid's Scythe. Actually, I have Golden Rose, don't I? Yeah, I'll just plus 15 this tomorrow when I get the artifact charms. Yeah. Yeah. Cool beans. Okay. Already talked about you. Festive Ida just got a buff. Basically says, well, she could be built two ways. The first build I have is low speed, or I'll just say mid to low speed. Then just a lot of HP with immunity set. Book if you have it, but I don't have much spare books right now, so I just, got lucky, got one free book. I bought a lot of books in the powder shop last rotation, but I fed them in so I can, give them more souls. And then if she loses herself, basically, she dispels all debuffs on herself and then gives shyness. She's either going to A, use her S3, which dispels 2 buffs and has a chance to inflict decreased defense and then inflict silence, can ignore effect resist with 20 souls, or she's going to use her S1, which basically stuns. But then she has a shyness debuff. She's going to use the expected outcome, decreases CR of enemies by 50%, and inflicts proportional damage to the caster's health, which is basically 1 to 2. Basically going to do 12.5k damage to the whole entire team. So you see the issue with why Renact is not on very fast gear, even though she's fast. She's fast. She's not fast as like fast, but she's fast. But like, I would just rather use her and use another OP opener. Just like push, and just like somehow get her to be hit. Cool. We'll just do 2 Renacts S3s back to back. Oh, Mort. From a doo-doo unit to he can't be immune to, or he's immune to debuffs that prevent movement, so he's really good against like Stunlock, Corsettis, and just debuff teams like that in general. But then let's say you're trying to play a counter unit. They're built on counter set, okay? They already have poor stats as it is because they're built on counter. Guess what? The whole point of countering, you can't do that anymore. No. So your lower stats get lower because all that counter gear could have been 60% crit damage, something like that. Only I can counterattack, and if I counterattack, I have a chance to click decrease defense. If I have higher health than Ignore ER, but then I also grant a barrier to the whole team and then increase speed for me because I have that EE. But then, you know what? If I have my S3, we're just going to inflict fear, which is basically a 2-turn stun that has a chance to dispel on the start of the turn. But this is the DPS, and then the words ignore effect resist are on the same skill. That is not cool. Penetrates defense, recovers HP. What are we doing? So yeah, low to mid speed, high HP, and then just building like a bruiser. I have Bastion of Perlusha once again. Some weird reason, A-Roz is picked. I can't pick a Ramen 3. Mort is there. They don't ban Mort. then somehow my Tori's gonna get a barrier. And yeah, immunity. But yeah. Stene used to be the queen of PvE, and she carried me so much through Abyss. I don't care what anyone tells you. If you had to pick Arby or Steen, still pick Spectre to Nibiru from your Moonlight 1, just because she's so great in PvE and just makes PvE content very great, like Abyss and stuff. You just clear that. Well, you can use Arby to farm, yes, and he's great in PvP, yes, but we have a free unit whose sole purpose is farming. You're saving, what, 6 pieces of gear? Okay. You made your PvP life, like, or PvE life, like, 100 times harder now. But yeah. Low to mid speed, full damage after that. Savior Aiden. I don't pick this character, but if they go like 4 dark units, sure. Low to mid speed, max damage after that. Abyssal Euphine to the one of my 2 tanks on my account. I gave her slates because I didn't have many bruisers, and when I pulled her, I put her on Outburst counter, so she was like one of my bruisers. But then Mort came along, and I'm like, what the heck are you doing? So now we're just one of my dedicated tanks. If my opponent's cleaving and they're like CR push, yeah, we're gonna cut that in half. Only play for a passive as a tank, and then proc set, immune set, warriors from there. Fene, Queen of PvE, made for Rift, and when that Rift went away, oh my goodness, that unit usually dies. Not Fene, because Fene's kit's so overloaded. When Rift went away, or when Rift started, people were like, wait, what? Fene could be used for other things, and then Fene could be used for this as well, and Fene could be used for that as well, and then Fene could be used for everything in PvE because Fene's Fene. And I don't want to look at her S3 animation because it's scary and it creeps me out at night. Slow speed, high health and crit damage, and max CC. So like build like a bruiser after that. And then you don't really have to max out her S2 at all if you're playing her for PvE. Just do S1 and S3. But yeah, very great bruiser. Victorious Flag. Because why not? I've used her in PvP sometimes. Certified Christie is just built for ER if I just try to ER cheese. Her studies here, I need to reforge her pieces, but I don't really pick her. I pre-ban her if I'm going first pick. I only pick her in second pick if my opponent is going like crazy fast. I'm like, what? Bro, chill out. So just mid bulk, and there's high effectiveness, so we could land some stuns and some defense breaks, some decreased attacks, just stuff like that. B-Dom, who would actually be at a little bit more bulky and at 150 effect resist, but same thing as Ruel. I built her very low speed but high bulk, and then gave her 150 ER. And then if they try to focus her down, we're just going to push up our DPS. And then if she somehow gets a turn, we're just going to do that again. Enemy does an extra turn, we're getting skill nulls and immunity to everyone. Yippee-ki-yay, yippee-ki-yo. Rowana, only used for a passive. You doing a dual, counter, or extra attack? We healing right back up. S3 revives or S3 gives revive to the team and barriers, but S2. S1 gives barrier, but S2. You can give her Stella Harpa, so to cut some buffs or debuffs if she is hit, but you just throw on random gear and give her like 100 effect resist, and then you're good to go. BBK. This BBK is for cleaving arena teams, Harseti arena teams in regular arena. And the reason because of that is, A, you'll see I am actually on her S3 EE. I do have the S2 EE, but for regular arena, using it for cleaving, so 10% damage dealt is great. You're in a Harseti matchup, so we're going to push up allies by 10%. If Harseti doesn't die, then basically your whole team gets another turn on top of BBK, which another character is basically going to die, gain another turn automatically. Just a buttload of damage. Yeah. A lot of damage, and then like you can go as low as 130 speed, but you want a lot of damage. Seaside Bologna, like my favorite character. Oh my goodness. You hit me, I'm just gonna build enough stacks, and then I'm just gonna hit you back. Um, I have her on ER build because I like picking her 4-5 against people who like to spam debuffs because they realize you can't steal her, and you're just gonna hit me, and then, oh wait, I'm just doing fixed damage because her drink's like almost maxed out. 95% chance to do fixed damage based off attack. High attack, or mid attack, a lot of ER, no speed and stuff, but yeah, cool things. She has immunity too, pretty nice. Love this character. Requiem Rowana. Fun pairing with Zio, or if you just go first generally, you want to spam more debuffs, but I have her on damage build, which one set torrent and then like as high of attack as I could get. She has some effectiveness to hopefully increase cooldowns by 1 turn for the DPSs. But this skill does a lot of damage. Yeah. Amiki, you just pick against any type of cleave team that's not debuff cleave and you're good to go. Like her pieces aren't even reach forge and she'll just do fine. I just gave her 100 effect resist and then max attack after that. I don't farm counter set gear because Mort exists, so like why would you? And then, so that's why her attack is so low, but like you pick her into the matchups you're supposed to pick her up in. This is supposed to be plus 15, but then you're just going to do what you need to do. Alright, my main tank. I'm hearing Ilinov. Oh yeah. Alright. Pen res. Innate pen res for all allies by 30%. If you do penetration damage, guess what? That damage is like cut in third. Just by this passive alone. If you hit like the allies, we're getting 10% CR push per ally. 2 cleanse, and then grants the undispellable 30% decrease, 30% increased defense and effect resist. You can build her as a bruiser, but I have her as a tank because there's a lot of penetration damage, and she just does this great. So if I'm second pick, and I just see a Zio, or if I just see Payra, if I'm second pick, I'm not gonna cleave. She's being picked, cause yeah. New kid Aiden. If we're playing a Harsetti matchup and you're playing all bruisers, yeah, we're just gonna deal a lot of damage, inflict injuries. Your 50% of your HP is gone, and then you can't recover that back. Immortality for first turn, so if you miss, you're not stunning me. Aha. Last character who's favored is Bellion. New players might not see what's wrong here. Veterans are like, why do you have this build? And this is because Soulburn Cleave exists, and I just put her on 3. Alright, we're on the characters who I have ungeared. Geared because they're geared because they're holding gear for other characters so I don't fill up my box, or the characters I use in PvE. So there's gonna be a lot of speed running because these characters are holding gear. Sinful Angelica is holding gear, but I use her in Guild Wars as a light bait unit, and then just for dual attacks and all that stuff. Cerise is used in Light Expo, has Songs of Stars, so she can do more increase damage of the whole team if inflicted. 85 effect resist, like 240 speed, and then the rest of the damage. A little bit of bulk is nice. Cecilia is used in Earth Expo for me. Just 85 effect, like 230 speed, and then the rest in the bulk. I have her on Rise of the Monarch because it is her artifact, so I'm like, why as well? But it also just increases defense, so you're more team stability, and then just grants a barrier to anyone who has low HP. Holding gear. Iseria, I use her in some hunts. I used her in Nightmare Lab, but I had her on 105 effect resist, or 105 effectiveness, 240 speed, and then some bulk, and then just max damage after that. Artifact really changes. Right now it's on Infinity Basket, but I put it on Song of Stars. Holding Gear. Holding Gear. Tamarin. PvE Queen. Oh my goodness. 85 effectiveness, 100% effect resist, 230 speed, and then the rest into bulk. If I'm not playing Arena right now, I give her my max Wondrous Potion Vial and go from there. Everyone gets her for free. Please use her. Please build her. Holding Gear. I use her in Water Expo. I give her Ceresis Song of Stars. Yada yada yada. 85 effectiveness, 230 speed. You can build her 85 crit chance because you only really use her in Water Expo. And then just max damage after that. Some bulk is appreciated. Used in my Earth Expo. Prophetic Candlestick because we're only really here for the S3. I need to put some molas in here, which matter of fact, I'm missing one. But yeah, use it for S3, decrease defense and speed, and unhealable, but for that fight doesn't matter. Candlesticks here so we can just spam that as much as possible. 85 effectiveness, 230 speed, rest in the damage. You can build 85 crit chance because only really used in Earth Expo. Can be used otherwhere, but you're using it for debuffs, not damage. Vivian, I use her in Banshee, and then if I just need to farm gear, or just farm, just a great attack buffer. But yeah, 220 speed, rest of the damage, some bulks appreciated. Given for free. Mascot Hazel, great fire healer. Use her in Golem. I used to use her in Fire or Earth Expo, but I don't need to use it anymore because I have Bomb Model Kana built. 65 effectiveness, 100 effect resist, 1200 speed, and then like mid bulk. Once you have that bulk, you can up the speed. Wondrous Potion Vial because she only cleanses one debuff, and that's her S3. Holding Gear, but can be used for some hard PvE content where you need some dual attacks and cleanses and all that. Holding Gear, but same concept. 85 effectiveness, 210 speed, or just 12 speed more than whatever your damage dealer is, and then just max your damage after that, or just go very high speed. But you need Dark of Aspiration to do that for high speed, and this needs to be maxed out. I just don't use it for Expo like that, so it's whatever. I use her in Green Expo, and she is my healer slash secondary damage dealer. Some speed, well, she'll be 220 right when I reverse that my ring. 35 effect. No, sorry, 45 effect. Sorry, I don't know. A little bit of effectiveness. She can strip with her S3, and the rest of the damage because Bloodstone heals based off of damage dealt. Great healer. Angelic Mantromancy. 200 effect resist, like 200 speed, and then like rest in the bulk, and then you can up speed if you have enough bulk. Ancient Book, when it's plus 30, makes your cycle like crazy. She's used for hard PvE content, especially for like debuff content. Holding Gear. Midnight Galileuus used to be for PvP, but I can't think of a situation where I'll pick her and get real good value out of her when I could pick strays instead. And I don't have strays, but then I'm like, there's no point. So I just use her for Banshee, and I just put Fenris in the team, and then we just do a lot of single target damage, and then hope my DPSs and stuff don't die from the little Banshees spawn. Robin, only used for Rift, 209 speed, 120 effectiveness, just rest into attack. It's a little bit of bulk, but Bloodstone is just given so she can survive the initial thing. Used for Asthmatics, and that's just about it. Just throw random gear on her. 65 effectiveness, 100% effect resist. And then bulk around 190 speed. You're good. Holding gear, but is used from time to time. 200 speed, 105 effectiveness, rest into attack. Just, yeah. Holding gear, holding gear, holding gear, holding gear, holding gear, holding gear. Mercedes. Great free fire DPS for I use her in PvE. Can be used in PvP, but I don't need to. Some bulk, like this is good bulk. And then like 170 speed, rest into a damage, and if you have a lot of damage, you can up the speed a little bit. Holding gear, holding gear, holding gear. Brig. Crazy PvE unit. Could be used in PvP, but like why would you? Just 170 to like 180 speed. I want to go higher than like 177 or so speed. 35 effectiveness. He gets 50 from his S3, and that's 85, which is enough for all the PvE content he's used in. And then just bulk from there. 85 crit, then can be Bloods Bruiser with some crit damage. Queens. Holding gear used in Light Expo. 170 speed, 35 effectiveness, and just rest into damage. Holding gear, holding gear, holding gear, holding gear, holding gear, holding gear. Sigrid. Used for Wyvern. But yeah. Like 150 speed, 65 effectiveness, which will be here once I max this, or once I reforge this. Rest in the damage. Only needs 35 crit chance, but I don't know why my gear has so much crit damage or crit chance. I guess I can use her if I need to as a water DPS. PvE, but like okay. Holding gear. My fire single target DPS for PvE. 150 speed, a little bit of bulk, and rest in the damage. Holding gear, holding gear, holding gear, holding gear, but is functional if need to be. Holding gear. We're almost done. Alright, Fenris. Used in... I'm sorry, did I say I use him in Light Expo? I don't use him in Light Expo, only in Water Expo. And Banshee. Some bulk, and then 85 crit chance, rest in the damage. Speed does not matter. Holding gear, holding gear. Edda is holding gear. My last unit I'm going to talk about is Commander Lorena. Woo! Very great DPS for PvE content. Just give her a little bit of bulk so she doesn't die to random stuff, and then rest in the damage. Don't worry about speed. And with that, I am done. It has been a year with Epic 7, and I wish many more can happen. Thank you for watching. If you did like this account overview, please consider subscribing. I plan to upload more content in the future. A lot of streaming, a lot of uploads for videos. Me playing some RTA when this new season starts. Ooh, I'm hyped. Give me Basarunka. Let's see who I'm missing actually. For RGBs who are 5 stars and not limited, I am missing for just 1 year Ken, who's can be used in PvE but not really. Haste can be used in PvE but not really. We're not counting limiteds. Fumir, Immortal Wukong, which I will probably pick up my hero selector because he can be both high HP if I'm getting a mid cleaved. A little bit. Mui. Yufine, and I'm gonna also pick up with the plus 15 selector. Yola, I'll pick up with the random or with the hero selector. Evelyn, Vildred, good speed imprint, but don't need it right now. Violet doesn't matter. Pavel, Bizarre, Ray. Only characters I'm missing that are RGB and 5 stars. I think for the 4 stars, I have every one except the one side story one, and then like, you know, limiteds. For ML5s, I have quite a lot because I was here for 2 ML summon events. But I am missing some good ones, especially like Successor Teiyu, Basurunga, Dragon by Senya. Especially these 2 debuffers. I really need one of the 2, especially Solitaria. Oh my gosh, Flan's second pick is horrible. SSV, Sharoon, I'm missing. Hua Young, Lilibet, Lone Wolf Payra. I really need Lone Wolf Payra. FCC, Hylian Lua, and SPP. Yeah. I have a lot, but I'm also missing a lot. But yeah, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good rest of your day. Peace out.